Welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I decided to do a discussion video, which I feel like I have not done in forever. I know in the past I've done ones about like Amazon wish lists and things like that, and today I just kind of want to talk overall about reader guilt. And I feel like we all have it, so I figured I just wanted to kind of get some thoughts going and see if we can get a discussion going about why do readers always feel so guilty about doing the things that we do that we love and enjoy. So something that I wanted to talk about was why do we always feel guilty about like rereading books? Like I personally would love to reread so many, like clearly I have so many books. I shouldn't feel guilty about picking one up one day and rereading it. But I do because of the fact that I feel like the time I'm spending on this reread, I could be spending on a book that I haven't gotten to experience and enjoy yet. And that if I spend the time rereading it, then I'm going to be missing out on all these other potentially good books. I saw somebody, I can't think of her name right off the top of my head right now, but I've talked to her on Instagram and stuff like that, and she is having a rereading year where she is only rereading. And in my head, I'm like, how does she not feel guilty about that? Because I would like cringe and be like, I need to get to all the other books that I haven't gotten to. So yeah, why do we do that? Why do we feel guilty about rereading? That's so silly. The other thing that we always feel guilty about is buying more books when we have books on our shelf. And I feel this pain all the time, like, because I like want to try new things, but then I'm like, but there's other books on my shelf, like, and then if I buy new books, do you notice that I never read the new books right away? Most of the time, I tend to read the stuff that I already had on my shelf because I feel guilty that I like got these new babies and I need to take care of the old babies before I can get to the new babies, or that like I just spent this money on it, so if I like immediately like read it, then it's done and then it's gone. Why? I clearly bought it for a reason. I should read it when I want to, regardless of when I got it. Why do I feel guilty about that? Another thing I usually feel guilty about is using my local library for borrowing books, because I'm like, I've got all these books. If I read a book from the library, I'm taking away from the money I spent on these books. This is fun. Let's see. There was something else that I just thought of that I felt guilty about. Same thing with ebooks and audiobooks. Like whenever I borrowed audiobooks, I always borrowed an audiobook for a book I already had because I had to. I don't necessarily feel this guilt too much anymore, but unhauling books, I used to feel terrible about. Now I'm like, make all the space in the world. If I don't like you, you're going. But a lot of people I feel like still feel that guilt over like parting with things. Like sometimes I'll still feel guilty. Like if I bought a book for like $15 and I don't like it and then I get rid of it, then I feel kind of guilty. But most of the time, most of my books aren't that expensive. But like when that does happen, I do feel a little bit guilty, and sometimes I'll leave it on my shelf for a little bit just so that way I feel like it's lived here long enough. Like My Lovely Wife is right here. I didn't love it, but I spent like almost $20 on it, so like it's gonna stay for a little bit just so I feel less guilty about it. I don't know. Continuing series. I've gotten better about this, but for a while I would like finish series even if I didn't like them because I felt guilty not finishing them. Kind of goes with DNFing, but I've gotten so much better about that. Like, I feel like I've gotten to the point where I'm okay with, like, not finishing a series or not finishing a book. But why do we feel guilty about that? Why do we feel like we need to spend time on something we are not enjoying? I don't know. I feel like sometimes I feel guilty of just being a reader in general. I think it's a very sad world we're in, where some people still feel like they need to poke fun at people who are readers like us. And sometimes it makes you feel guilty. Like, maybe I shouldn't be spending all my time reading. Maybe I should be out doing something else. Maybe I should be spending my money on something else. Like, people make us feel guilty for doing the things we love, which I think is horrible. So yeah, those are just a couple topics that I thought we can get started on. If you think of anything that you always feel guilty about as a reader, please let me know down below. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about this. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye, everybody.